I'm Andy Reesmeyer. Coming up in entertainment, we go through Rich Miro's search history. I'm sure that will be fun. Plus, the reviews are in for Jeremy Allen White's Springsteen movie. Is he on fire or just pouting in the dark? Good Tuesday morning. I'm Kirk Hawkins filling in for Mark Kriske. It's National Hot Mulled Cider Day, and we're seeing cooler temperatures in the forecast, so it really does feel a lot like fall. More of it in the SoCal style. 72 along the coast, 75 downtown LA, 81 in the San Fernando Valley. Orange County, we're looking at a high of 77, 81 in the Inland Empire, and 79 today in the high desert. Well, that's the latest on your forecast. Frank, now back to you.
A U.S. government shutdown deadline is now several hours away. Neither side seems willing to give an inch, even after top congressional leaders met with President Donald Trump. KTLA's Trevor Shirley live in Washington, D.C. with more on all of it. Trevor, good morning.
Frank, good morning to you as well. At this point, a shutdown is set to go into effect just about 11 hours from now. It doesn't seem like either side is prepared to move. And if the government shut down, there's a high likelihood that almost all Americans will feel the impact. As a shutdown gets closer, the bipartisan finger-pointing continues.
It's purely a hostage-taking exercise on the part of the Democrats.
We could avoid a shutdown, but it's in the president's hands whether to avoid a shutdown or not.
If a shutdown happens, you can expect long wait times for with Social Security, shuttered national parks, furloughed federal workers, and potentially thousands of others outright fired.
How many federal workers do you plan to lay off?
Well, we do a lot.
Most Republicans want to pass a short-term spending bill to keep the government funded through Thanksgiving.
This is the common sense thing to do. This is the right thing to do. This is the simple thing.
But Democrats want to extend pandemic-era health care tax credits that expire later this year, a red line they say they're not willing to cross.
We're seeing people not being able to get the health care they need. The American people are crying out for some help. It is our job as legislative leaders to try and solve this problem, or at least fix the problem.
The White House Democrats need to get on board with the short-term spending bill the House passed earlier this month and end the shutdown threat.
It can all be avoided by accepting a reasonable position, which is what the House has passed and what sits at the Senate desk.
Now, if the shutdown actually happens, there's no telling how long it would remain in effect. The longest shutdown in U.S. history lasted 35 days. That was during President Trump's first term in office. That's the latest here in Washington. We'll send it back to you guys in L.A.
Trevor, thank you. President Trump is setting a 10% tariff on imported lumber. He set the amount today. They will go into effect on October 14th. The president says the wood tariffs are needed to shore up America's industries and bolster national security. In addition to the lumber tariff, the president will be boosting tariffs on cabinets and vanities to 50%, 30% for upholstered furniture. Those increases will kick in on the first of the year.
President Trump has announced lower drug prices. He says drug maker Pfizer has agreed to sell its drugs at lower prices. President Trump spoke a short time ago at the White House.
And this, in terms of pricing, it's going to be great for Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security. It's going to be great for everything because your medicine costs are coming way down. We have some examples that I think we'll be able to show you next week of over 1,000% in some cases.
President Trump says Pfizer will also sell its drugs on a direct-to-consumer website called TrumpRx. He says Americans would pay the lowest prices charged in other wealthy countries. It is unclear which drugs would be affected or by how much.
3 people have been charged with stealing more than $40,000 in federal disaster relief. All 3 allegedly claimed they were victims of the Eaton and Palisades fires. The LA County District Attorney's Office says the defendants submitted fraudulent applications to FEMA using fake California addresses to obtain funds meant for displaced residents. All 3 face 3 or more years in prison if they're convicted.
Students at Marquez Elementary in Pacific Palisades lost their school to the wildfire. Today, those same students are returning to their campus after nearly 9 months. KTLA's Alina Bovian live now at the school with their story. Everybody's in class now, but it was fun to see their arrival this morning. Hi, Alina.
Hi, Jess. Good morning. I know you'll appreciate this as a mom. I saw a little third grader let his dad's hand and then immediately go in to hug his teacher. A really special moment when you think about how much these kids have missed the school experience. Now, take a look behind me. This is, in a way, still a temporary campus. You can see all the green that's up because they are going to be going through the construction and the rebuilding over the next few months. But according to Superintendent Alberto Carvalho, he said earlier today, a promise made is a promise kept. And they made a promise to this community to ensure that the kids could even come back in this way. And this morning they delivered. Take a look. Such a special moment to see these kids walking onto their campus this morning after nearly 10 months of not being here. Some of these students coming back after having to study for the last few months at nearby Nora Sterry Elementary School in West LA. Now, to get this campus back to its original glory and perhaps better than before, it's roughly going to cost about $200 million in construction, and it's slated to be ready in 2028-2029 school year. Now, the construction, of course, a lengthy process, but as we heard earlier this morning, they really did their best to ensure that they can cut across some of the red tape to make sure that they are ready as early as possible.
My team and I have been here with you. We helped neighbors evacuate, hosed down rooftops, and frantically worked as flames got closer and closer. My staff stayed until it was too dangerous, and we too had to evacuate. Those hours and the ones that followed left scars on our community and in our hearts.
And what we're hearing right now at the 10 o'clock hour, kids are in recess. So it's a really nice thing to be a part of this morning, to see everyone coming back together and establishing this sense of normal, not only for these kids, but also for the staff members and everyone in this community has been so dedicated to ensure that everything gets built back. I'll send it back to you.
It truly is inspiring. All right, Alina, thank you for that. The Dodgers begin their postseason run later this evening at Chavez Ravine as they take on the Cincinnati Reds in Game 1 of the National League Wild Card Series. The Dodgers are hoping to become the first back-to-back World Series champions in more than 2 decades. KTLA's Eric Spillman live at Dodger Stadium with a preview for us. Eric, good morning.
Frank, looking at the beautiful Dodger Stadium here this morning, it is ready for playoff baseball. 6:08 p.m. tonight. The Dodgers taking on the Reds in a best-of-3 wild card series. And then hopefully moving on from there. And you look at this place, and we come here often, both for games and before games like we are now, and you look at it and you say to yourself, man, this place always looks good. There is one person responsible for that, and his name is Jordan Lawrence and his crew. He's the head groundskeeper here. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Good morning. Thanks for having us.
All right, what's
yeah,
this?
First off, it's not me. It's the guys that are doing all the work here.
Of course. Of course. It's not just you.
No.
The buck stops with you.
Right? Sure. But like they do the work. Do an awesome job.
I mean, you look at this field, and the color of the lawn, it's the most famous lawn in Los Angeles, is so green, and you have players who are tearing it up with their spikes. How come it looks so great?
I mean, it's job security for us. They kind of beat it up, and it's our job to come in the next day and kind of give them a blank slate to play on. So starting every day the same as they left it the night before.
Do you use a lot of chemicals or fertilizer or what?
Not a lot. The grass that we have here does really well with just in the Southern California climate, so we don't have to put a lot on it. We spray some fertilizers here probably once right before the homestand. That's kind of about all we use. Once a month we'll put some like granular fertilizer out, but nothing crazy. Everybody thinks, it's Dodger Stadium, it's some like high-tech stuff that we're using on it, and it's not too much different, a little more refined than the stuff that we can buy as homeowners too.
What about the pitcher's mound? How much time do you spend on that?
That's so we probably spend 70% of our time on the infield dirt, the mound, and home plate on a game day, because that's where most of the game happens. So that's where we spend most of our focus. Jaime, who's just got done this morning, he's been on the crew for over 20 years. His main job is fixing the mound in the home bullpen every day, and so it's just the same. It's the same every day. So pitchers know what it's going to be like, no matter what the weather like or anything. So he just does it perfectly every day, and he's out there for about 3 or 4 hours every day.
When you talk to opposing players from other teams, do they say, "Man, this is the best in baseball"?
There's some will say, we don't always say like the best, but like, oh, we like playing here. One, the weather's really nice. A lot of it has to do with just the kind of grass that we can grow in Southern California. It's short, it's quick, so the ball just rolls perfectly all the time. So we get some kudos here and there. There's always going to be people that don't like things too. So we kind of, we're open to any kind of constructive criticism we might get from anybody, but normally it's pretty positive.
Anything special for the playoffs that you do?
So for us, we try to make the field as good as we can all year long, and obviously it's a finer tooth comb this time of year. The only thing we really do differently is paint the logos in the foul territory, which we did yesterday.
Awesome. All right. Let's hope it's good luck for the Dodgers.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thanks for talking to us. And, it's just amazing. I mean, as we watch it, I'll come over here. I'm not supposed to go on the grass, but you touch it. It's just something special. It really is. Always looks great. It's always a pleasure to come here. That's why they call it Blue Heaven on Earth. We'll send it back to you.
Why is it that we can't get our grass to, even when you put in sod, for me, it was within a couple of months, it just started to go wrong. How come
Do you have a dog, Frank?
Yes.
Do you have a dog?
That's part of it, I guess.
Okay.
Right.
Case closed.
Right.
Case closed.
Eric figured it out.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Well,
Blame the dog.
Yeah.
there are people out there every day, like Eric said, making sure it's perfect. And I don't think you have that at your house.
No, I don't. No, I'm not.
Yeah, true. Mark's out there every day with his grass as well.
Because you've got the fertilizer, you've got the seed stuff that you can do.
Plus, I'm building the lazy river around the house,
Right.
so that that trench.
Well,
kinda.